Hello and welcome to Move the Line Prop Drop Show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm Ryan Noonan, joined by my friends Connor Allen, John Hyslop. We're back to talk about the best way, the most profitable way to bet on NFL football. Through player props. We are live here, 3 p.m. Eastern, every Friday on the 4for4 Bets YouTube channel. We're giving out our favorite props of Week 15 and taking your questions. So if you want to jump in the chat right now, live on YouTube, do that. Let us know what your favorite look for the week is. If you want thoughts on a play, anything like that, join us every week on YouTube. It's your best chance to get the same number, same price on these props. Look, about a few thousand people will watch or listen to the show. We greatly appreciate that support. Less than half of you are subscribing to the channel or the podcast. So change that. Hit the thumbs up. It's a way to apologize for taking so long to do so. We get 2 episodes of Move the Line each week, in addition to Prop Drop, our weekly preview show every Wednesday, 3:30 Eastern on the 4for4 Bets YouTube channel. Sides, totals, futures, awards, all that good stuff. You can search for Move the Line wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also search Hyslop on YouTube. You want to get Slop's channel, find all the great things he has going on. Connor, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, not a whole lot. Got in some good Twitter beef today. Otherwise, excited for a new week. Excited for another week. We unfortunately was on some overs on Thursday or an over. And I think the only 3 overs hit, and you had one of them. So pretty excited that one of us won because I was distraught. I don't think I've seen a game that bad in a while. At least I was at a bar and it was a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to George Kittle. Back-to-back weeks where I need him to catch his longest reception, and he does it on the first drive. Just absolute alpha move. He catches that. The rain starts to fall. Feeling pretty good, Slop. Kind of on the heater. How we doing, buddy?
I don't know. I'm with Connor. That set football back at least a couple years. I mean, that was horrible to watch. Put it this way, I was gonna go out with my buddies. And I sound like I said, you know what? I'm gonna watch the first play of this game. I'm gonna let that determine whether I go or not. And I had Deebo Samuel to catch a pass on the first drive. It was the bet of the century. It was like plus 170 something with a boost. I was ready to party. I was dressed. I had showered. I was ready. And sure enough, the first play, Brock Purdy throws it. I mean, it wasn't the best throw. It was pretty much on Purdy, but dude, an NFL receiver should have had that. He drops it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going out. So I did not go out. And I'm glad I didn't because I couldn't imagine watching that in public.
Yeah, you need to be in the privacy of your own home for that. I was actually out. I missed the good play, the Kittle play that I needed to sweat. Didn't get home in time to sweat it. And then really turned it on shortly before halftime and didn't feel like I missed anything where I feel like typically, all right, I'll have to go back. I'll rewatch that a little bit tomorrow while I do some other work. And ended up watching the end of it. But the important piece here, Connor, is that I don't know if you heard, but Vegas knew. Patrick in the chat shouting it out. Jason too. FanDuel had the script. I don't know how they knew, Connor, but they knew apparently. If people have not seen this, you can fill them in.
Yeah, so there's a funny incident this morning. Well, so I guess yesterday for the Thursday night game, FanDuel made a mistake. So they listed either player to score anytime touchdown score and listed like Cooper Kupp or Puka at plus 350, Deebo Samuel or Cooper Kupp plus 380. So they had all these options, and they listed them as anytime touchdown scorers. It was meant to be first touchdown scorers, and so they quickly realized that, well, not that quickly, a bunch of people got down on it, and then they changed it to first touchdown scorers. So they changed it, but they didn't void any of the bets. They let them all sit. They didn't void any of the bets. Obviously, fast forward through Thursday, no one scored any touchdowns. So people got in and they're like, oh, this is so sharp, which it was. I mean, those are legit great bets. Great
take
prices. The books for whatever you can get. I am team pro, burn your accounts, do whatever it takes. I mean, get it in good while you can. I'm 100% there with them. But where I'm not 100% there is now you have these cavemen complaining about oh, well, they should have voided everything or everything needs to be voided because no one scored a touchdown. Books can do whatever they want. They are going to offer one-way markets on basically everything. I see people saying there needs to be a no touchdown market. I actually totally disagree, to be honest. I think that the books will list whatever they want as one way, no matter what. And so the fact that people are complaining that it needs to be voided now because no one won, to me, it's just wild that no one has self-responsibility for that. So I quote tweeted it. I was obviously blasting these people. And then what made it even better is you have people coming in here saying, you're missing the point. This is my favorite tweet. Everyone had this game being a shootout, either Puka or Nakua. This is great. To score should be 190. It's minus 190. Instead it was plus 300, implying that Vegas knew beforehand it was going to be a shit show and showed their hand early by mistake. So I read this a couple times and I'm like,
I don't even know what the dumbest part is.
There's so much going on here.
I found the dumbest part. I found the dumbest part because in the replies was someone that said, "Are we sure this game wasn't played yesterday and then aired on tape delay?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and
found the
of
bottom.
Thousands of people that were there leaked it.
Correct.
No
They're fake. They were fake human beings. They were like projected in the stands of Madden, like it was like that.
It was Andrew Whitworth's birthday. They celebrated it a day early on the set after the facts. His whole family was involved in the whole thing.
The idea, though,
because of FanDuel, so FanDuel could profit.
The idea that you could ever keep something like that secret too, all these, because a lot of people would have to be in on that, right? So like all these people are in on that, and just they're all like, I want to be friends with them because if I ever do something wrong, they're the best people to have. They'll never tell.
Literally. I mean, yeah, like you couldn't convince me of any of this. So like I took this as like, so FanDuel, you're saying FanDuel baited users into betting touchdown props by posting first down instead of any time. And then the NFL rigged this game just so that FanDuel would profit 5 figures. Like, I mean, because the thing is, like, most people were like, couldn't really get down a ton on this. They're getting down, like, I saw some people got down like $30, $50 and all these, like, so, I mean, again, they profited like very little. And I just think it's hilarious. I mean, it's some of the replies here are getting wild. I can't believe it. I like to me in these days, like when I see people respond to this, I'm like, this is just amazing. Like, this is great content. Just be smarter. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, but here's the flip side is you start worrying about these people because like, how could you still be alive with like instincts that bad? Is that the NFL calling right now?
They're calling me.
Are they rigging?
FanDuel actually
That's
being
the
like,
league.
buddy, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. You know, but yeah, like how on earth like could you still be alive at like 25? Or so you made it 25 years being that dumb without accidentally like killing yourself, like walking into traffic or sticking a fork in electric socket, like getting struck by light, something you would think would happen. But it's amazing.
I wanted to reply something like that, but like it's not really my brand. Felt like a dickhead thing to say, but I wanted to be like, for the love of God, do not operate a motor vehicle. Do not reproduce.
No, you know they do.
Just stay inside.
And 3 kids.
Yeah, bang out prize pick slips. Just do something different, please. So
yeah, they knew,
and I get Con. I am with you too, because like we saw it. There was a no touchdown bet available. It might not have been in the same market, in the same drop down menu, but like no touchdown was an offer available by FanDuel. Does it have to be in the same like slip to be? I don't know. It's available. Like people that want bets voided because someone got hurt right away. Like under's an option, right? You chose to take the over. That's part of the inherent risk of taking the over. It's so maddening that there's just this. It's again, as one of the 2 boomers in the group, it's just this like, or our names are all jacked up, by the way.
I get to be Connor. I was gonna say the most like controversial stuff.
Yeah, today. But yeah, I just think it's so crazy. There's just this entitlement for everyone to get their way.
It's bad, bro, and I'm sad. I hate it. I don't know if it's an age thing. I don't think so. I think it's intelligence thing. I just think people just don't get it. They don't get it. But it is what it is. I think we should just make a bunch of bets today. Somebody said in the comments is awesome. Chris Carlton, tell those people to play DFS, play the long game, and take their money. That's smart. Like, yeah, that's how you do it right there. Because I'll never understand. I hate it when they say Vegas. Vegas is over. Vegas
that's
is over.
Another thing.
That's so far. It's not even. You heard your grandfather say that in one day, and like you just keep saying it now because like it's not Vegas anymore, guys. Like it's out of Vegas now.
Like odds don't even come from Vegas. 1, 2. Like
No.
these companies don't like operate jointly. Like you think
No.
FanDuel is happy if DraftKings loses money. Like this is like
they want them to. Like,
Yeah,
it's so baffling. Like how, like, oh, it's crazy, bro. But I mean, what are you gonna do?
like,
You know,
do
these
I
people-
believe that in one day and age, maybe in like the 1950s, that like small time college basketball games might have been rigged for money? Sure, of course. Like if I'm sure it has happened, but like in today's day and age, like it is just so unlikely. And then beyond that, like sports books would be involved in that just to turn like a small profit. Like they're collecting plenty on your same game parlays. Go look at the FanDuel earnings report. I mean, they are printing off those anyways. So, I mean, yeah.
It's
Anyway.
bonkers. Yeah. I mean, Connor knows I reference this all the time. Shout out to George Carlin, all-time, wordsmith, comedian. Think about how stupid the average person is. And just remember, half of them are stupider than that. And this was a great indication of that. We were just like,
That's scary.
These people are, again, sitting on our perches of us being smarter than everyone else. In these moments, I feel pretty damn good that we're okay.
Yeah, that's
like
the thing. Like, I'll admit, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. So, like, that's why I get so nervous when I see other people that are like way worse. It's like, oh, dude, like how are you still alive? Like, holy shit! Like, let me shake your hand because that's impressive. Because I feel like I should have been dead by now just by doing dumb shit. I couldn't imagine being even stupider. It's unbelievable.
Oh, so good. Yeah, we definitely aren't. We definitely aren't the smartest people in the room. There's plenty of smarter people on Twitter. We're just here to tell those people that they're being really extra dumb today.
Crazy. They're gonna get this taken away from us for being too dumb. I'm serious, dude. Like, I watched the anti-gambling videos, and I'm like, no one's that dumb. And then I read the comments, I'm like, oh shit, dude, what if they are? Like, they just take it away because people are too stupid to bet. Like, that's not like, we got to help these people out.
Yeah, let's do that today.
So we can still gamble.
Well, of course, at the end, we'll build a 8-leg $1 million parlay, but that's okay. In the middle, we're going to give you a bunch of really good stuff.
I think it's okay. So I want to be clear. Like, I think it's okay to have fun. And I think it is okay to put a couple of bucks on something when it's like 0.1 of your unit size, whatever you're making, and understanding that I think that 99% of people should actually just treat this as entertainment. Like, it should not be a money-making opportunity. It should just be like, hey, I'm paying $10 to watch the same game parlay and watch this game instead of paying $15 to go to a movie, or like $15 to go to a bowling alley. Like that, in my opinion, is an entertainment. Well, no, again, maybe the bowling alley comes first for slop. But like that, in my opinion, it's just be an entertainment expense. You shouldn't be dropping thousands if you don't know what you're doing. So.
No, I always thought that gambling is legitimately the apex predator of entertainment. There is nothing more I'd rather do. Like, if you said, hey, what do you want to do tonight? I would be like, hey, let's throw some cash on this game and watch it play out. Like, that's literally like how I want to, like, that's what I want to do forever. I'm dead serious. I could do that literally every night of the week. Every night I could, because it's fun.
And
I do.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, it's not really a money-making venture, even though like money's made. That's not what it's for, man.
Yeah. I know. I agree. You head over to Connor's Twitter account. You can find probably the thread that's in reference here. Enjoy yourself in the comment section. It's a wild place. Does not make you feel good about the average depth of thought for the humankind here, but interesting nonetheless. That's just the worst among us are the people that lose and demand a refund. Yeah,
Jason Cooper see that, and people are the worst.
Yeah, he gets it. And Patrick also makes another great point here. So there's just lots of different ways to entertain yourself.
It's a valid point.
So
might be better for your health too. I mean, I haven't seen the studies yet, but I'm pulling for SGPs.
We'll get there soon. Well, we need a little bit more of a runway to get
some more
larger sample sizes and that stuff. So, yeah. All right, folks. If you want more of our action, best way for you to do that right now is through our friends over at Rebet. Rebet is a sweepstakes app with a sports book. I don't really know how else to describe the current landscape that we're in, but it has a prop builder feature as well. If you're looking for more outs, Rebet is a great option right now. Download Rebet, deposit at least $10, and use promo code HIGHSLOP when you sign up. That's going to get you a free month of the 4for4 betting sub, along with a free month of High Slop Stub Club. Insane offer. It's almost gone. Season's running out. We got 2 months left. So again, plenty of time for you to ride with us through the end of the season, 4 weeks in the regular season, all the way through the playoffs and Super Bowl. So plenty of time to take advantage. Again, download Rebet, promo code HighSlop, a month of 4 for 4, a month of HighSlop Stud Club. All right.
Rebet's actually good, just so you know. It is very, very good. There's a lot of bullshit books out there that show up out of nowhere, right? Rebet, I like it. I mean, I'm a Rebet guy now. I'm thinking about getting one of their shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Love that.
Maybe get a shirt for you.
I might not get a shirt. I'll play on the app, but I might get the shirt too. The colors are kind of sweet. They're growing on me.
Okay. You know, like black and
Orange,
fire
right?
orange or so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's kind of like I don't know how to feel about it because I'm not really an orange guy. You know what I mean? Like
You can pull it off though.
I think I could maybe in the right lighting.
Hey, and you get the $10. You obviously can use that to play. They'll first deposit match, I think, up to $150. One of those, so you can reach out to us directly. But again, all you need to do to access the deal is $10. Again, and that's $10 that you can play on the site. Great deal. So week 15, bud. Connor, get us started. Live lines, no stale bread. All things available for the folks to bet on right now. Your first play of the week.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, probably gonna piss Slop off after that nice little fun segment there. We're going 2 straight unders here. So we'll start with the first one. We're gonna go with Russell Wilson under 199.5, 197 on FanDuel, 196 Caesars, 201 MGM. I mean, they're gonna be there without George Pickens almost certainly again. Tough match against the Eagles. Last week against the Browns, who were like 18th in success rate and drop back and everything. I mean, he looked terrible. He had completed 15 of 26 passes, 57% completion rate for 158 yards. Now draws the Eagles, who've actually held 6 of their 9 quarterbacks since the bye under 191 passing yards, which is pretty wild. The only ones to go over that, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford. I don't think that a Russell Wilson without George Pickens is able to really go over here. Like it would take just a substantial amount of volume. But I really think that both sides here are just going to run the ball a ton. So there's going to be really low volume in general. The Eagles offense honestly hasn't really been good enough to, I think, blow them out to put the Steelers in Russ needs to throw the ball 40 times. You know what I mean? So I think we're probably going to see relatively low volume, maybe 150-yard game, 160-yard game again. If he gets the volume, maybe even 100-yard game if he doesn't have volume and it's close till the end. So I think this 200 number almost implies that the Eagles are going to drop 30 on them and Russ has to throw the entire game.
Don't hate it. This is almost the second time, in 4 or 5 hours that you've sold me on an under. Slop, would you take the over though?
No, this is I'm fine with this. This is like an over on how bad Russ is. You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah.
So I'm good with that. I don't know if you know that I'm not the biggest Russ guy. I don't actively not root for people, but he's one. I'm just oh God, that guy. You know what I mean? It's just when you have to bet on him, it just sucks. When it's the right move.
Yeah.
And, it's not fun to have Russ. Even when you win, you almost kind of want to give the money back. Just
he is fairly insufferable.
Money.
Yeah.
He honestly played way better than I thought he was going to so far, but after last week, I'm partially thinking that had more to do with George Pickens than it has to do with Russell Wilson. The moon balls were just not on this, they were way out of bounds. They were just not in the same stratosphere. And it looks like Mike Williams was lost. So I don't know. I think that the receiver, I think honestly kind of made Russ, at least for the first 4 or 5 games, in easier matchups. Now it's just way different. So
yeah. The ability to track and bring in the moon ball in a contested catch way, those things that's a skill. You can't just replicate with Calvin Austin or Mike Williams and put him in there and think, oh, okay, he's just going to get those targets now. We're discrediting Pickens' skill to be able to track that ball while covered down the field. So yeah, I think it's a good look. Very interested to see how that game plays out, just from a volume standpoint. Both the way those teams have kind of dominated time and possession. I'm trying to figure out in my mind how to play some tackles that I like in that game because I think some of the season-long numbers don't track the way I want them to. But yeah, I think I like that look quite a bit. Slop, floor is yours, buddy. First play.
Let's go JMO 100 plus. That DraftKings right now for, I believe, plus 600. Guys, he's getting 100 plus. I don't know how many times he's done that this season. not that many, but they don't really need him to a lot of times. But this time, I think they're going to need him to. Sun God, he's going to get his, but I think this is going to be a wild, wild game, or has the potential to be a wild, wild game. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, they just gave up. The Bills did a lot to Puka and Cooper Kupp, so 2 guys could get 100+ on these dudes. That's not a thing. Plus, the Bills, they could score fast on you. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to expect total wise. I mean, it's too high. Do you know what I mean? To take the over, really, just because it's like 55, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, it's a healthy total.
So the only way to get a piece of that really is to take some receivers. But man, I think it's JMO time. Like, he's been targeted 7 times, at least 7 times in each of the last 3 games. I mean, they go to him. He's the guy. So we'll see what happens.
He's seeing way more short stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that, but he can break it.
Right. Well, I mean, just the more he gets the ball in his hands, I think is great. Oh, literally, Underdog tweeted out George Pickens ruled out for Week 15 right now. So shout out to us for the timing there, because I'm sure that Russ's thing will probably go down for sure. Now, Noonan, I know you had some defensive notes on this play as well.
Yeah, I mean, in that game, last game, late in that game, Rasul Douglas got dinged up. He's already been ruled out. And Rasul Douglas is good, but good enough where I think he matters. And in his spot is a Jamarcus Ingram, an undrafted free agent out of Buffalo, who we looked up as Raz. My guy is not an elite athlete, not super fast, and is going to have a real hard time tracking with JMO here. So longest alts, all these things, I think, start to make a ton of sense for our boy here in a matchup that I think got just significantantly softer here in the last couple hours. So
also, I should know, because I don't want to talk about this in my next pick, is 5+ receptions for JMO. Not crazy. A few weeks ago, I would have thought that was kind of crazy, just because he's definitely a yards guy. But his number for 5+ is like 152 at FanDuel right now, which is plus 152, which I think is way too high. Like, that is very, very generous, price wise for a guy who, like I said, I mean, like Connor's point, like, he has been targeted short. They're not just throwing like the moon balls to him anymore. Like, he gets kind of everything. Yep. You just want to hope he doesn't get kicked out of the game or something like that. If he threw the ball right in that guy's face that one day, I don't think they really saw it. They saw it, but I don't know if they totally caught that. I mean, he hit that kid right in the face. That was awesome. But, I mean, I don't think it was his fault, but just saying.
It's Tyreek Stevenson too. Seems like a guy that like kind of deserves to get hit in the face every once in a while with the ball.
He should have been standing there.
Yeah, he's just throwing away.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been standing there. What was he doing?
On his own sideline.
Yeah, I like it. I thought we were gonna. I thought it was gonna be featured in the Millie parlay. We make a case for that for sure. I'm probably gonna feature his longest in my longest parlay. Yeah, it's nice. Longest parlay won last week. Gosh, what's that, Slop?
Monotone's here. What's up, buddy?
Monotone's the man.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Sharp guy.
We had already 2 dual joint plays this week. Me, Noonan, and Monotone. I don't think that's ever happened all season, so it's going to be an awesome week. You and Stu were cooking last week, 3-0 on dual Noonan Monotone plays. I mean, that's electric. So
hard to beat that. Yeah. Iron sharpening iron this year. We're definitely, just getting better by spending more time talking to the people that aren't in the comments section of the touchdown bet. Just with my friends here, makes, I don't know, seems to make a ton of sense. Seems to be working. All right. First one for me. Again, just trying to branch out a little bit, off-brand plays here and there occasionally, but no, actually, this is my niche now. I love this. I love this area. And I love this one. So surprise, Slop. Who do you think gives up the highest rate of explosive pass plays in the league so far this season? What team?
Houston.
It's the Chicago Bears.
I was hoping.
Very surprising. Yeah, Houston would work too, right? You can get those Dolphins guys to get on the off the schneid a little bit. Jordan Addison, longest reception, over 22.5 yards. This is Caesars, DraftKings, MGM. It's 23.5 on FanDuel. So you probably want to try to get the other ones if you can. He's just continuing taking on a larger role in the offense. Really slow start to the year. 20% target share in 6 of his first.
Uh-oh.
Did we lose Nina?
During that time as well. At least 126. What's that?
We
lost you, but I think you're back now.
Wireless acting up over here.
You're doing the Back to the Future thing where
Uh-oh.
you're like fading away, and then you come back.
We can hear you. Now you're good.
Okay.
Let's go.
Uh-oh. They've been pretty good all season here. I don't know what we're doing.
That's been great.
Anyway,
Not your
he's
fault.
going to do
Someone
well.
else.
Longest reception, air yards, target share. Bears have been giving him up 26.5% explosive play rate, pass rate over the last 5 weeks. They are 31st in pass D DVOA against wide receiver twos. Absolutely electric spot for Addison to continue his longest reception streak here, over 22.5 there. Connor, what do you think?
I like it. I mean, what did he put up, $150 against the Bears last time? I mean, he was just destroying them downfield.
Cooking.
I worry about this Bears team a little bit. So, I mean, I honestly kind of have stayed away just because of that game. And I'm like, after I felt so good about the Bears in negative game script the entire time, put them 32 pass attempts. They ran 48 plays because they couldn't get like a single first down. I mean, yeah, I have no complaints against the longest reception here because again, if he's going to get it, they've been targeting him so like deep so much now, especially with like Hawkinson back and Justin Jefferson eating. Like he's just always open.
He's a guy that we were looking at in the like uncorrelated market, but I don't even think we can do it anymore because he's getting so many targets too. So, Slop, any thoughts? It's a Monday game, and I apologize. I know you don't typically. There's 2 Monday games this week. 2.
I actually thought about you today because I looked into the Monday game. I'm a big Vikings guy. I like to go against them with receivers, and so I looked into that. And that game looks to be like that might be the fun game because there's 2 games, right?
Yep.
So I'm probably watching that one. Like
Raiders Falcons,
full attention on that one.
Yeah, Raiders Falcons not quite as hot. For sure.
Yeah, I'll flip back and forth. If I find something, we'll flip. But I'm thinking it's definitely going to be Bears Vikings.
Yeah, Richard likes the longest market. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm loving it right now. Got a card full of them. So ready to continue to cook. All right, Connor, back to you. I think we got another under coming in here.
Yeah, you're just in the groove. We're gonna go back to the Bills Lions game here. I'm going with James Cook under 51.5 rushing yards, best odds at FanDuel, 50.5 DK. We obviously played an over against them last week with Josh Jacobs. They're basically their whole defensive line back. Dan Campbell said today, Pascal, DJ Reader, Aleem McNeil, likely all to play. They've played in all but 2 games together in those 11 games, just 4 running backs over 50 rushing yards. They rank number 1 rushing success rate allowed in those games. And the coaching staff this week the Bills coaching staff mentioned using Ray Davis earlier in the game. Coach Speak Index had a great note here. The coach said Ray Davis should be getting touches and he should be getting carries. I think his first carry was at play 31, and that can't happen. He's too good of a running back to not get some touches. So in my mind, they're probably going to script up 1 or 2 game plays for him, at least in the first 15, which is like normally when 15 to 20 for coaches like game scripts there. So, I mean, any touches for Ray Davis, and I think we're in a good spot here. And even not like they're underdogs against the Lions team. It's very potent. We've seen in other big games this year, like Josh Allen basically just like takes over. Like if they fall behind at all, it just becomes Josh Allen scrambles, Josh Allen runs, Josh Allen rolling out and chucking the ball downfield. Like he doesn't really play around with just the running game anymore. So I thought 51 yards is, a little bit rich here for a guy like James Cook, who honestly, I mean, he's been kind of off and on this year too. Any tough matchup he's faced basically when they've been like even or like dogs, he hasn't really played all that well. So I like the under here. I know we played an over, but I think those matchups are just like completely different as well. We played Josh Allen rushing over a little bit before. So
totally different thoughts there. Slop, would you play the over?
I muted him when I heard under, so I didn't hear what he said. No, that fits right in line with how I had this game going. Like I don't. It's not the Bills running backs. I'll tell you about it. Also, too, Tommy G, the great Tommy G, is on Josh Allen's rushing over. We were talking about that this morning, and I
love that.
I like it. Just it makes sense because they're not going to be able to run the ball. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to run the ball. Period. So the fact that he's going to be splitting time with Davis. That's a problem. And dude, they could easily fall behind in this game. I'm not saying they're gonna. I'm just the range of outcomes in this thing is so absurd. I mean, but I think it all kind of goes into the pass game for both teams, really. Well, not necessarily the Lions as much as the Bills. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I just have a hard time believing that the Bills defense at this point, without Rasul Douglas, and their defense has gotten run on a lot of the year. Like the Lions, I think probably are pretty efficient offensively, especially not outside. That's obviously important too. So I think they're going to score. And if they're scoring plenty, the Bills are probably just going to have to be in catch-up mode for a lot of the game here. And if they're not, then I would just be surprised if the Lions at some point are not leading this game.
Yeah, I think the Bills could actually score points all over the Lions at some point too. Not on the ground though. We just don't. It's one of those where if you even if you have Allen's passing overs, you might get hurt kind of bad when he takes off running for 20 yards a clip, because that could start happening too. I mean, this game could get wild.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Connor said too, or with Tommy G, we played over on Allen's rushing yards. I think, again, completely off brand. You guys might find this surprising. I think longest rush for Josh Allen, also very viable. It's like 12.5.
That's gold.
Yeah, just again, man, the whole element, right? They play a ton of man. They have to blitz to generate pressure. You flush that big Superman out of the pocket. It's not like 12.5 for him is just couple steps out on the sideline and he's fine, right? It's not even like we're not talking about a 40-yard rush. Like it's very, very, very.
Do you do those for quarterbacks? Is the question.
I actually love them for quarterbacks.
Okay. Yeah.
Because then I don't get punished for like the short ones or the what could have been a sack that gets ruled as a rushing attempt and it's like a negative 3 yards. So those take it out of it. So I really like doing them for quarterbacks actually.
Good.
Yeah. Like it quite a bit. All right, yeah, I like that angle, Connor. I thought we might see that one on the show because I know you've been talking about it today. So, Slop, what do you got, buddy?
I'm going to go Tyreek Hill, 100-plus receiving yards, plus 250. Dude, we used to have to, sell a kid or something to get – that's great, 250, plus 250 for 100 yards. Dude, this used to be, minus 250. You would never get this ever. And then all of a sudden, here we are. But here's the thing. It makes sense while we're here. He hadn't played with Tua that much this season. I mean, they've had games, but not games against the right kind of opponents. You know what I mean? He was with Skylar Thompson for half the season. So none of that counts for Tyreek Hill. He had 100 yards last week, caught 10 balls. This week, that Houston team is a very good matchup for wide receivers. Especially since they're going to score on Miami. I promise that. So how do you get back? You know what I mean? What you're going to have to do is throw the ball. Dude, Tyreek does not look slow. He does not look like he's washed. It doesn't look he looks good. So to only have to get 100 when, man, he's a 50-plus anytime he touched the ball. So I'll take that. I think that we're going to get back to the – you know what I'm saying? Minus money for 95.5 yards for Tyreek Hill. I really think we're getting back to that soon, but not this week.
It does feel different. It's I know we've had some internal discussions around some of these things too. Even the Waddle props. It's man, it's 3.5 receptions. These guys are routinely 6.5, 7.5. You'd be laying juice on 7.5 receptions for Tyreek. So I don't know really what's changed too much. I mean, Houston's actually been awesome against tight ends as well. So maybe that also helps this here where they have to maybe funnel outside of Jonnu Smith and start to get the wide receivers back in the mix. Connor, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I played some Tyreek alts just for fun last week. I think I included in my I usually drop some random alt parlay in the Discord. Dropped it in there. I totally agree. And what's crazy too is we actually haven't even gotten a vintage Tyreek bomb. You know what I mean? He's just been doing it on 15 to 20 yarders, and then maybe a couple 5, 10 yarders. The big plays in air quotes here are 15, 25 yarder. He hasn't had a 50 or 60 yarder in a minute. And so I think he's, I don't know if due is the right word, but it's coming. Something's got to be breaking here soon. I mean, I just don't know if Tua can throw that far, but at some point he's just going to get open and rip one. So,
man, you're dunking on Tua?
Hate
This is-
Tua, huh?
this is
I
easy.
love
What
Tua.
did Tua ever
Connor
do?
loves Tua. That's what's so weird.
I mean, I do love Tua, but I mean, he throws the ball like so soft. Like he might have the worst arm in the league. Like in
It's a
terms of like,
catchable ball. He's just throwing a catchable ball.
yep.
He's doing it on purpose. He could throw it harder if he wanted to, probably.
Just laying it in there. Just,
Six teams in the NFL have given up more receiving yards to the Texans on the season. Like that's a kind of a weird stat because I didn't really expect to see them up there.
You know what's crazy too is they've actually allowed one of the lowest completion rates in the league, if not the lowest.
That's even
but
better.
The 6th most yards, which is wild.
Even better.
Kind of beat up in the secondary too.
Tackle, you think? You know what I mean? Like, what does that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever think of those numbers and think like, what does that actually mean? Like,
I don't know. To be honest, I don't.
No, neither.
They have some young guys in the secondary. Bullock and Lassiter are pretty young. Jalen Petrie's now out for a while too, so they're kind of beat up. And I don't hate it at all. You say you're getting historically softest numbers on Tyreek that we've ever really had. So, I like the look. I thought we might get that. You kind of teased it earlier when I was asking you for the Bears look, trying to set it up. So, all right, good stuff. All right. It ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's go back to the well. This is one I hit on last week. Some of the guys, George Kittle, he cashes this like a gentleman in the first quarter. But what happens is you get some of these guys that want to cash these longest receptions, maybe in the third quarter or the fourth quarter. And what it does is, someone who's sweating these bets, I get time to enjoy them, right? If everyone cashes at the same time, then I don't get to feel the rush of the win. And Calvin Ridley last week, really nice guy, waited until the last drive to cash his over longest reception with like a 30-plus yarder. We're going back to the well. Over 24.5, longest reception for Calvin Ridley against the Bengals, who were absolutely decimated in the secondary. Dax Hill been gone for several weeks. They tried to bench Cam Taylor-Britt because he was playing so poorly. Then they lost DJ Turner for the year, so they had to bring Cam Taylor-Britt back into the lineup over the last 5 weeks. Cincy allowing the second highest rate of explosive pass plays in the league, tick under 21%. Calvin Ridley kind of the only show in town for the Titans passing game. We're getting some positive coach speech index stuff on Will Levis, who, again, like whenever you think of Will Levis, he's going to have to be dropping back and keeping up here against this Bengals offense that can cook, right? We know Bengals basically, if you can show a pulse on the other side, you can have some high outcomes, some ceiling outcomes for the opposite team just because they force you to kind of play catch up. So Ridley over 24.5 longest. Keep it going here. Go back to the well. Connor, what are your thoughts?
No, I like that. The coach speak index point was my only addition there. So I think it makes a ton of sense. Like they're basically just a full evaluation mode of Will Levis, like seeing what he's got. Pollard is beat up, didn't practice twice this week, 3 times this week, but listed as questionable. And then the team just said he's expected to play. I'm not going to derail this conversation too far, but there's like 3 guys that I've speculatively played unders on that we can talk about after this. But yeah, the Ridley play I think is pretty solid.
Yeah. Again, just takes the one. Just what the whole game. Just get the one, you're done. I didn't have to suffer that whole Thursday night football game because I got the one right away. So you can split your other bets later.
That's brutal. Just start betting NBA on those standalone days.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I'm hoping when the NFL calendar, I was trying to work on some NBA stuff. It just is too busy to get there. Maybe I'll circle back when we slow down on the football side. But then, golf picks up for me. So it's hard. We'll figure it out. I have to just tail you. Just get in the dub club and,
first quarter, baby.
Get over slops. Yeah, you're crushing those, right?
Those are fun, man. Those are so fun.
Yeah, it's a fun way to get down. I like these derivatives. I think that you could find opportunities there that maybe not be, they're not priced as well. They're not used to having to properly account for it like they are with everything else.
Not to go too far off, there's guys that literally play, 15 minutes in a game. They play 8 minutes in the first quarter. It's just like, dude, so if he scores, you win. Like, this is so dumb. Like, they're going to fix it, but it's fun to do now.
All right, gentlemen, let's we got 20 minutes to go. Get a little wonky here. Start building some parlays. Connor, I don't know if you've already started or we going FanDuel, we going Caesars. What are we doing here?
I was just gonna do Caesars just because it was easiest, but well, the issue is I had two unders. You had 2 longest. So all we got in our parlay right now is slop. Real quick though, Tony Pollard is still lined at 64.5 rushing yards. I think that's too high, even in a good matchup. He didn't practice all week. I think we'll probably see more Tajay Spears. Jordan Akins, I think there's still some lines up.
Mm-hmm.
David Njoku might play.
He's saying he is going to play.
Yeah. So, I mean, there should be no lines for him. Even then, his line was like 26.5. And then Breece Hall is randomly expected to play now. I smashed some Braylon Allen unders. There might still be some stale lines on those. It was like 51. I think Isaiah Davis unders are probably fine as well. I mean, he probably doesn't like full workhorse, but all those are like viable unders, I think. And if they play, then I think you're just in a great spot. So this is the time of year where guys like taking advantage of injury uncertainty is great. Just bang a bunch of unders. You're probably gonna be right more often than not. Always the chance for you to be way wrong, but I mean, it usually is positive over time.
Yeah, long game. Slav, you said that Njoku was saying he's going to play?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter right before we came on, so I was going to give out or think about that other guy. The guy kind of looks a lot like him with the helmet on. I'm like, buddy, like, what are you doing with the hair? Like, every time like you catch the ball, like, is that it? And I'm like, no, it's not Njoku. It's the other Njoku.
Akins, right?
Yeah. Njoku.
So I got Jameson 100+, and then Tyreek 100+ on there right now. Do we want? I mean, Tyreek's only plus 235. Jameson 100+ is plus 575. So we might not even need to go that high if we don't want to, or we just bump up Tyreek. I don't know what you guys are feeling.
I mean, both those are hitting.
All right, well then we'll just leave it. That's fine. Noonan, anywhere you want to go? I talked about some alts that I liked yesterday on the Dub Club TV thing with Dalton, but I have unlimited amounts of alts that I could talk about at this point. So,
yeah. What do we? I mean, we all kind of think the Lions have success running the football. Is there anything there that we think is ceiling outcomes for those guys? I mean, it's probably 12, 13-yard gap between Gibbs and Montgomery. It's obviously going to give us a better price on Montgomery.
Gibbs.
Yeah, I'm always Gibbs over Montgomery almost every time. But
because that could help the JMO number a little bit.
True.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing 57.5 at Caesars for Montgomery, 67.5 for Gibbs. Like, I think both probably see 12 to 17 carries. I don't know which is going to see 17, and whichever one does, that's the right answer.
All right, we'll table it in case we need something else. It's on my list, and this is basically the conversations I had internally with myself. I'm like looking at game logs and trying to get a sense of why, or it's just hard.
How about Jameis Winston?
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
That's another Tommy G special. He was on the Thunderdome this morning. He loves it. He's got the Browns winning that game.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean,
Conspiracy Tommy says that since the Bills probably will lose to the Lions, they can let the Chiefs lose this week. I was like, Jesus.
Oh, is it the script writers? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
And hey, not to hijack this, but just what we were talking about. I was looking on Twitter. I wasn't on Twitter to hang out. I was on Twitter to see if I could find out where Njoku said this. Like, was that on Underdog? Instead, the first tweet that pops up, NFL is rigged. Players aren't performing because the sports books don't want to lose money. So they partner with the leagues to let players know what to do and what not to do. It's so obvious. Week after week, game after game, there's always something. Never had a clean week. This is scary, bro. It is scary to think of how stupid you have to be to think this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's scary. It's unbelievable. And this guy follows me too, so sorry about that. I don't even know what your name is, dude. That's
the Rizzler.
I'm sorry.
The Rizzler follows you.
What's up?
Crazy. You say it was the Rizzler tweeting
the
about
real SK? My bad. The real SK. I love you, bro, but bro, talk to somebody, man. Talk to somebody. DM me, dude. Like, you can't. Come on, man. But yeah. So back to what we were talking about.
Cleveland passing game. Damn,
My
Jason.
brain hurt reading that. Like I said, I was literally like, "Where's Njoku?" I'm like, "Wait, what did that say?" You know what I mean?
150 miles an hour sustained winds in Cleveland. They shouldn't be playing that football game.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know that they're going to play this game if that's true. I feel like that's a record.
That'd be basically a
Weather,
hurricane.
the weather guys have taken major L's recently. I'm not going to lie. To be fair, I have not taken any weather stands recently that have been that bad. Obviously, Thursday was pretty shitty considering it was pouring rain the entire first half. I'm seeing 16-mile-per-hour winds, likely rain showers. In my mind, that doesn't really matter that much for Jameis Winston. That being said, we can probably get a better price on Jameis closer to game time if the concerns keep going. So that's good. For the purpose of this parlay, I'm still fine throwing it in because I think there's going to be a ton of volume. Chiefs are a pass funnel. Like Njoku could play, would be a bonus. I'm not sure that matters. I mean, the Chiefs allowed a ton of yards to like Bryce Young and a bunch of other people recently. So I don't think that. I mean, Herbert would have thrown for whatever 300 if he had McConkey. So I'm not too worried. I just think we're going to get a ton of volume. And we can do attempts. Actually, I don't think it lets you alt attempts. No, it only lets you alt completions or yards. I mean, 300 is plus 370. 275 is plus 205. I mean, that's like 275 is not even that much. Like that's a normal Jameis game.
Yep. I think he gets that. I think he has to get that. I don't think they can run.
I don't either. I debated taking some Nick Chubb unders, honestly. Been real close, but I've been not very good with that backfield. I think I'm like 0 and 4, maybe 1 for 4. I hit one Jerome Ford, one under.
Oh, yeah, Ford burned last week. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, well, they just split carries. Like I don't like what happened. It was so weird.
Njoku, I would love to have some Njoku action. I mean, 30 targets in the last 2 weeks. 30 targets. And like balanced. Not like there was one 27 target game. Like we're talking about 13 and 17 or something crazy. Just insane target share, especially with Tillman out of the lineup. And then Chiefs against tight ends have been hemorrhaging all season. Just they invite you to throw there. They rally and tackle you. So yeah, I'm good with some of the James. I mean, 275 for what? Plus 2 what?
Plus 205 for 275. I got another one here too. Just I didn't see. Michael Woods. You got any Michael Woods interest or Elijah Moore?
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Woods is listed at 21.5. This guy's running a route on like 80% of 84% route rate last week. I don't know shit about Michael Woods. I didn't know who he was prior to 2 weeks ago.
There's no Tillman, right?
Tillman's out. Like for some reason, this guy always just seems to pop up. 43 yards against the Broncos. I mean, he only had 12 yards against the Steelers, but that was kind of like a down Jameis game. That was like a little bit of a bad spot. I think this one's a little bit better. I don't know. Do we know anything about this guy? 6th round pick in 2022. Went to Arkansas. Like, I don't know. Is this guy any good?
Bro?
We'll pick Suey, bud. I don't know anything about him, but it's a pretty low threshold for him to.
I mean, it's 20 yards. But I don't know if we'd want to alt Mikey Trees. He ran a 4.55. That's pretty shitty. 6'1", 4. That's pretty slow. But was he good in college? Not really. All right, maybe I'm out. We'll just stick with Jameis.
He's a late bloomer.
Fine.
Late bloomer.
Late bloomer. Yeah.
What about speaking of just like horrible bets, Daniel Bellinger, tight end for the Giants.
Noonan loves that guy.
I mean, we bet him last week.
I've done dumber things with money.
So he's not. I don't think there's anything out. Last I knew, I think just touchdown bets. That was one of the plays Monotone and I were on last week, and very comfortable going back to the well, because
it's Tommy time, dude.
Tommy time against the Ravens.
Yep, touchdown, Tommy.
What do we think about this look from Monotone here? Parker Washington 50+, Sauce on Brian Thomas Jr., no Ingram. I think Sauce is kind of cooked, but I think having some more attention on Brian Thomas is maybe interesting.
I'd do it. He went 100+ last week, right?
I mean, it was Mac Jones loved him too. Threw to him like 10 times like a couple of weeks ago. So
I can see doing that. I don't think it's that crazy, no.
I'm seeing on Caesar, since we're building it there, plus 290 for 50 plus. I mean, 50 receiving yards.
That's not that many.
That's not bad. I don't mind it, but I mean, we can always remove it if we don't need it.
I don't mind it. I'd almost just prefer just give me 100 with the dude who's getting just all the work.
Brian Thomas.
The Sauce stuff, I dug into it.
Or both.
And
yeah, it's Sauce.
It's just not happening, dude. Like, what are my Sauce notes?
I love this, by the way. We don't call him Sauce anymore. Ahmed is his name. Or Ahmad is his name. We need to get that Sauce back. That's so good.
Fair.
It's true. It's I mean, you look at so his rookie year was his best year by far. His rookie year, he allowed a negative 6.8% catch rate above expectation. It's negative 6.8. This year, it's plus 8.9. Massive swing. So above expectation, he's allowing 9% more receptions. EPA allowed as a rookie, negative 28.8. This year, plus 25.8. So we're talking about these massive swings of like you're the best corner in the league versus you're below average at a bunch of stuff. So and now you get Thomas without Kirk. He's in the slot more. You've seen Thomas playing the slot like over 30% the last couple of games. So he's going to miss Sauce either way. So even if this is like small sample variance on Sauce, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. BTJ stuff I'm very much into. I don't mind this because the bar is lower for Parker Washington, but 72% air yard share for Thomas last week. Like,
I think
10 targets in the second half.
I think actually both could get there. I'm not going to.
I don't disagree.
This is like, I mean, a pretty narrow target tree at this point. Like I guess Brenton Strange is the only other guy there. Like we've seen the Jets like the last couple of weeks, like Aaron Rodgers just throws the ball like every play, which just pumps play volume for both sides because he just throws these like short plays. And so I don't know. Yeah. And then here you go. I don't think the Jets got a quarterback pressure last week. I mean, yeah, that obviously that matters a lot for Mac Jones, who, just shrivels up into a little cupcake, when he's under pressure. So I think both are fine. If we want to go Brian Thomas, I'm not opposed to that either, to be honest. But
yeah,
Slop, you can be the tiebreaker if you want. You want Park or BTJ?
Both. I said
both.
Should we just be taking Mac Jones alts? Mac Jones 300 plus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could. 10-1 for 300 plus. I mean, 275 is 5-1. Plus 250 is plus 275.
I mean, 250 would be fun.
250 is good.
I think he can get that. I would say though, Brian Thomas.
All right, let's do. I'll go Brian Thomas, and that's fine.
And then that way, I'm saying we get around going too nuts.
Yeah, 100 plus Brian Thomas. Plus 340. That guy played the worst game of football 2 weeks ago when we bet on him, and then just ripped off like a 56-yarder on a drag route, and then still ended up hitting alts because I need to put a calendar, like a reminder in your calendar to like draft as much Brian Thomas Jr. in fantasy football next year. I don't know how high he's going to go. Should be like a second-round pick. If he's not a second-round pick, like you just need to draft this guy. Guy's a baller. Just is abysmal quarterback play. Anyways. All right.
Size, speed, adjusted score stuff is bonkers, dude. Like, be long on BTJ.
Yeah.
How do we feel about the squeaky wheel narrative? Didn't go so well last night. How do we feel about the squeaky wheel narrative in Philadelphia?
I can't do it, but
okay.
Well,
that's okay.
mean, there's just not enough volume. Like that's what I like.
Yeah,
I think he can go over. Just like it would take like minimum an 80-yard, 60-yard bomb for AJ Brown to get. There. You know what I mean? Like I think he can go over, but like, can he get like 120, which is where we'd have to go, or 130? I don't know. I talked about this with Dalton yesterday for like a while because I love AJ Brown. I think he gets fed, but he's just got to be awesome because they're going to throw 25 times. So,
yep, it's fair.
And I hate it because I keep betting these overs on these stupid Eagles players. And I'm just like a donkey, just donking away money on these receiving lines. Okay, but I think one that you would like, Derrick Henry alts up to like 150. That sounds crazy. Sounds like completely ridiculous. They've allowed, or Derrick Henry has 140 plus rushing yards in I think 5 games already. Playing against the Giants, 16-point favorites. Their defense is playing better, as you mentioned. Or the Ravens defense is playing better. The Giants run defense is allowed 170 to Saquon, allowed like massive games to any good running back. I mean, Derrick Henry might get 25 carries because they have no one else. Like, they don't really feed Justice Hill in these scenarios, and they have Keaton Mitchell. So, like, how does Derrick Henry not have like 25 carries against the worst or one of the worst run defenses in the league?
All right. So the only question I have is what's going to happen if they start rolling them like in the fourth quarter? It's like, does he have to do this in 3 quarters? Or you know what I'm trying to say? Or will they let him finish out the game even though they're just
I think that's the question. But like, I don't think they've really done that, right? Did you look into that? Like, they haven't really like passed the baton.
They haven't. And they've also they haven't had many spots where they get out and like run away from you. The only one game that happened was the Denver game. Otherwise, when they've had these scenarios, they kind of let the other team come back in. So we just don't have any real sample of what they'll do in this situation. So that's the tricky part too. So they're also coming off of a bye. So like, this is actually a pretty good spot where you're like, oh, you just had the week off. Like, are we like desperate to protect him the week after he just had the whole week off? So I don't know. Dehember, I don't hate it. I don't hate it 3 quarters either. Can we get a 3-quarter line?
Yeah, I mean,
half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's obviously the question. Is like if he gets benched early, you're kind of like, I mean, that's tough. But 140 is plus 330. 130 is plus 230. Like, I
like the 130. 130, you can get that in 3 quarters of football. He's also going to play more than 3 quarters of football. I'm sorry, this never works out the way you think it's going to work out game script wise. Like, it rarely does. Can you really think of a scenario where that dude sat the entire fourth quarter in week 15?
No. Anybody, really.
It just doesn't happen.
Scary. The only thing I think about is running back, just because that's such a position that the guy's going to get hit. But
yeah,
you're right. I mean, anytime somebody's favored by 17, though, they never cover. It feels like they never do.
The other angle is Lamar and his mom.
Giants either. So, like, what the hell do we do about it? You know what I mean? Like, how do you bet that?
Lamar's
I think Henry's the smartest way.
Lamar's mom yelled at him on that Philly game before the bye, and he promised that he was going to come out ready to go. This is the same scenario. Lamar rushing. Maybe it's Lamar longest. There's something there where like he doesn't want mom to yell at him again coming off the field next week. So I don't know how to play it, but those are obviously good Ravens things happening. Make a ton of sense.
We have some good looks here in the chat. Mitchell anytime touchdown, 12-1 at FanDuel. If you do think that for some reason that happens, we saw so in that Denver game they won 41-10. Derrick Henry 23 carries. Justice Hill only had 5. Let's see here. I mean, obviously Josh Johnson came in. Derrick Henry still getting carries. 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, up 41-10.
Okay.
Early in the week. So
yeah, that's the only question I have. That's it.
Yep.
Is what do they do with them with that? Are they super conservative? Like what do they do? That's all.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And also think if we get to a spot where it's 41-10 again, Derrick Henry probably did some damage to get us there, right?
So he probably already had 20 plus carries anyways too.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. All right, we need like probably 2 or 3 juicy ones left.
What do you guys think about DJ Moore?
Receptions?
Mm-hmm.
I like receptions.
Go 6 for plus 112 at FanDuel, but 7. Now it's a party. Hang on, I'll get you exact line.
I'm only getting 7 plus 155 at Caesars. Caesars is toast. 8 is plus 290.
Yeah, that's a little too high for me. 7 is kind of where I draw the line.
Yeah, 7's a lot.
I get to get wild, but like, come on.
Yeah.
7 at FanDuel is plus 198. Man, so we couldn't bet it at Caesars anyways, just at a principal alone.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a good look actually, but I'm not sure it's really enough.
No.
Patrick's mentioning this one too. I touched on this earlier because we were looking at Kamara. We played Kamara under 17 and a half rushing attempts. Patrick's talking about Kamara alt receptions. It's a small sample. Dude's had 29 dropbacks. No one's checked down at a higher rate than Jake Henner so far this season. 21% of his dropbacks, he's checked down. So again, it's just getting thin there. There's not a lot left. So I think Kamara reception stuff. I think Juwan Johnson, who hit for us last week, also still very much in play. In a worse game script than last week, and the numbers the same.
Just go receptions.
Yeah, the longest
They'll
hit, like
do that
called out.
stupid little play where he runs out like 4 yards and then just turns around, and that's a pass play.
Yeah.
And like that's not, you know what I mean? Like it's literally 2nd and 6. Like you could have got that on the run, but like that's all they can do.
Yeah. What do we think, Kamara? I mean, Kamara 6+ receptions. I don't think is bad at all, to be honest.
No, that's actually like in the
Plus
range.
255. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good actually. Yeah, that's good. Who said that? Patrick?
Yeah, I
Nice
like
work,
that.
Patrick.
Toss in Ja Morant 10 double.
Go.
That's hilarious. Our NBA chat's been ripping those double doubles.
Yeah, that's a great market.
It's so funny. I love it.
Tyrese Maxey tonight.
Ooh.
Double action.
Okay.
You know what?
Nasty.
You know what sucks is that we don't have Kevin Jennings to bet on this week, but we do next week. So
Next
that's
week.
good.
Yeah, they're in the
I bought
playoffs.
an SMU shirt, by the way. I bought an SMU shirt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, it was just time. I mean, he's going to play a whole nother year at SMU. I mean, I might buy a jersey after next year when he wins the I'm betting on him to win a Heisman next year. I don't even care. It's just love the guy. If you hit your passing prop like 9 of 10 weeks or whatever it's been at this point, I mean, just an absolute god, like literally.
Yeah,
Respect.
I love Kevin. Big Kevin guy. Ever since I heard about him.
Literally, so good. I think we're like $10 to win 35 grand right now.
We're on Caesars.
Yeah.
You want to just stop it there?
I got a spicy one for you.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
Caesars is unique for this.
Okay.
Trey Hendrickson, 2+ sacks.
Can you?
I think it's
let me add that.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can add it. I think it's like plus 270 or something like that. Hendrickson is a one-man band for the Bengals pass rush, playing against Will Levis. I think J.C. Latham is out, who's really kind of struggled anyway. Now you're going to it's just an awful offensive line. Now we're going to draw back Will Levis even more to force the ball deep downfield to Calvin Ridley. Can you fit it in, Cal? All right. Does it?
Yep. It lets me plus 285. I mean, that's pretty hot. I'm down. I don't really know much, but the analysis sounded great. I mean, 10 to win 133 grand now. That just added whatever 100 grand to our portfolio. Yeah.
Okay. I got another one of those. You want to add Jonathan Grenard against the Bears?
Pick him up.
Oh, yeah, because I mean, Slop's a big Vikings guy too. So
yep, huge.
Pretty sure Grenard had 2 sacks against the Bears last time they met. I don't know.
So, like in this market, this is going to be a really stupid question. They need 2 full sacks, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's pretty tough, but
yep, it happens.
Or they couldn't get 2 halves.
I don't think that's how Caesars. No, if they get 2 halves and it counts as 1 full one, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 halves and then 1 full by themselves.
Yeah.
You know, that can work.
A couple halfies.
This is the thing with Hubbard. I mean, with Hubbard and Asai for the Bengals aren't getting halves. Hendrickson's a one-man. He doesn't get halves because no one else is in the backfield to bring the quarterback down. He doesn't have to share with anyone else. You know, Grenard maybe with Van Ginkel, but yeah, Hendrickson by himself, he's fine. Just putting it out there. See if we can get it close to a mil.
I like it. No, yeah, we're at 652 if you include Grenard too. So 10 to win 652. I think that's probably a solid point there, unless you have any last ones.
That is very good.
I guess, well, the only one that we didn't talk about was Josh Allen rushing. That's like probably one of my favorite plays of the week.
Oh, yeah. He's getting like at least 50.
Right. Like,
I mean, that could just be like a cherry on top. We don't even have to go too crazy on that. You know what I mean? Just like go ahead and just get that in.
You can pull Grenard out of there too if it makes sense. Balance it out a little bit.
If we do Josh Allen 60 and we pull Grenard, it'll work. If we do Josh Allen 50 and keep Grenard, it'll be like 1.8, 10 to win 1.8. So let me see here. Josh Allen 60.
Christmas.
Yeah, we would still need a little bit much to get to $1 million here. I mean, I don't know. Josh Allen's going to run for like 90 yards, so I'm not really too worried about this one.
It's a free leg.
It's basically a free leg.
Guaranteed legs.
I mean, we'll just keep it at this: 10 to win 571,000. It feels.
Hey, Christmas is coming up. You know what I mean? We use the extra cash.
As always, I will tweet this out and attach to the show. I will also drop it in the Discord. and we can all get rich together. Patrick said, I want to cut of this milli. Just bet it yourself, Patrick, please. I mean,
actually, you know what? That's the best way. We'll give you your own million.
Yeah, exactly. This is I swear, do not come to me and ask me for a cut of the million if somehow this wins. And again, I'll probably be betting a bunch of this stuff randomly by myself, and I'll drop that in the Discord. I usually put together like 4 or 5 alt legs that I like the best. Noonan does the same with his longest. This is obviously collaborative. And again, bet responsibly. Again, we're putting $10, don't put $10 if $10 is your unit, just to be clear. Probably put 50 cents or $1. So
that's true. That's a good point.
Responsible gambling ad at the end of a show where we built $1 million parlay, but feels like it needs to be said in today's day and age after our 10-minute rant at the beginning of the show.
Just come on, guys. Like, don't get gambling taken away from us. We need this.
Slob literally said it's all he wants for the rest of his life.
Literally.
Someone
I could literally do that forever.
Patrick, you've been with us all year, and we appreciate that. And I know years past you. You now have FOMO and have to bet this? You've been sitting out all year? Patrick,
Yeah.
I feel good juju now.
He's
Patrick's in it for the first time. He's coming in the right time. He contributed to the parlay. This is really
I think it's going to win because of Patrick.
That's what I'm saying. I feel
the Patrick parlay.
Feel really good about that.
This is the Patrick parlay. All right. Slop has dubbed it the Patrick parlay.
So if it wins, we'll remember you forever, Patrick.
Hard to forget that avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I always like just kind of blank it out. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but I respect it.
Yep. Seems gay, but hey, you know what I mean? Saying. That's what gay men do. So
yes, that's correct. I think it's a good note to end on.
Oh, it's good. All right. Absolutely love it. Take advantage of the rebet deal. Promo code HighSlop. $10 on rebet. Month at 4 for 4, month at Slop's Dub Club. Find Slop on YouTube and Twitter. Twitter at Slop Rules. YouTube, search HighSlop. You get all of his stuff as well. Come back on Wednesday for our game previews, future discussions, and again, always on Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern for Prop Drop. For Connor and Slop, I'm Ryan. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks, everybody.